One thing that no one ever tells you about being a practicing graphic designer in private sector is that the norm is 100-hour work weeks. I sort of embraced that. I lived it. Huge trade-offs that resulted and I really lost track of why I wanted to be a graphic designer in the first place. So I stopped. I decided to go back to school. I began to trip over forms, media, tools, processes, things, people that reminded me why I wanted to be a graphic designer in the first place. I found a way to sort of re-emerge in the field, but this time I get to have control over what I do and when I do it and how I do it as a graphic designer. And I totally tripped over teaching it. It was something I never expected to be able to do, but it's turned into the thing that I love the most. I've always gravitated towards anything that has letters. Typeface design, especially given shifts in technology that happened during the early 1990s, became possible for me in a way that I totally didn't expect, and it caused me to start viewing my field in a completely new way. That sent me spinning down this road that was all about typeface design. I've now produced somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 typefaces. Most of them, in fact, are probably terrible. But every once in a while, I will produce a piece of work of which I'm very proud. I am an acquisitive pack rat. I have always collected things. I collect lunchboxes. I collect matchbooks. I collect pencils that are used as marketing tools by potato chip companies and hardware stores and banks. I collect compasses. I collect padlocks. All of them have letters on them. All of them have letter forms in various forms, emblazoned on, and that's in a way that's the baseline criteria for anything that I collect. I've kept sketchbooks and diaries and journals since I was 11 or 12 years old. They're the receptacles for words, for thoughts, for drawings, for crap I find on the ground and pick up just because I have to have it right now. Those sketchbooks and the collections form the foundation for what I do in studio. I've also always gravitated towards things I could take apart and put back together again. I gravitate towards systems. In my work, I look for systems. And so it's a huge part of what I do in studio. As visual stimulus, I look at these non-functional yet functional things, take them apart through photographs or through a monkey wrench and a hacksaw, and start putting them back together again in the form of collages. The current series are in essence biomechanical self-portraits. I combine pieces of my own aging, semi-functional physiology and morph them onto semi-functional, non-functional objects that look as though they should work, but don't quite work in the way that they seem intended to work.